So welcome to this video, and this video is about the Reolink Go Ultra, and it's a 4G 4K camera that you can use just about anywhere. So let's have a look what's in the box. It's well packaged and there's a seal, so you need to break the seal to get into it. There is some support there. A little helpful guide. Yeah, so what we've got in there is the usual sort of paraphernalia, warnings and do's and don'ts, conformity stickers. But there's a helpful little quick start guide there which I use to get going. It shows you what's in the box, how to mount it, how to set the camera up, how to charge it, how to use it outside, mounting it to the wall, how to use the battery, and all the specs. All good stuff. There's a mounting guide, so if you're drilling some holes to the wall, that's good. There's a sticker here if you want to stick on your window somewhere. Comes in about half a dozen different languages. We've got the camera itself. It's quite difficult to get out of the box. A bit egg-shaped. Now, I have had a Reolink camera before, and that camera used the micro USBs. This uses a USB-C, and that's the where you mount the bracket, and there's some codes on there, and there's the USB charging socket. Underneath, and a little blanking plate. Interestingly enough, there's like a little plastic jacket. I think that's meant to camouflage it, so if you're using it like a trail cam or something. In there you've got the screws, and yeah, it goes on there, doesn't it? We've got a bracket that we'll use later to mount to a post, or you can mount it to a tree or something like that. It's got a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. There's the mounting bracket, which you can swivel. It screws onto the case, and you can mount that on the wall or on your motorhome. And it's important to note, it's a fixed camera, this is, once you've screwed it in place. So there's the bracket that you can use to mount to a post, and then there's some various screws and some raw plugs. All good stuff. So here's the solar panel. Again, this is very well wrapped. It took me a while to get it out of the plastic wrapper. Here's the box for the Reolink solar panel. Again, it's got a seal on it. Be prepared, be Reolink. Manual and conformity stickers and things are all in there. Tells you how to mount it with respect to the sun. I never realised that 5 degrees plus your latitude. And a bit about mounting to a post or something like that, or obviously you can screw it to the wall nearby. There we are. There's some drilling guide, a little bit of plastic, and that's the panel itself. It's got a screw thread on the back, a long lead, and the mounting bracket is there. Again, that screws onto the back of the panel, and you can adjust it in any position. You've got the strap for mounting it to a post or a tree, and the USB-C lead. And that's the bracket that you put on the back for mounting it with the strap. Some more screws and a waterproof lead. More on that a little bit later, because I had a little problem with that. Yeah, that's the bracket. You screw it in and you tighten it up with a lock nut. There we go.
card cannot be recognized. Please insert the SIM card correctly and restart the camera.
Alright, so SIM card, micro SD. Okay.
Network connection succeeded.
So here it is, mounted in the van. Now it's got two mounting screws there. Unfortunately they fit the old holes. I haven't put the third one in there because I didn't want to drill another hole in there until I knew I was going to get on with this. It's got a USB charging point on there, so I'll get it charged up. Well, the first thing to say is it's got quite a wide field of view. If I move around here, you can see my hand at the side here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so it's recording. And I've got playback as well. Okay, let's show you some of the settings. So if you click the gear icon there, battery, that's charged at the moment. Display, that actually just gets into it, but you can flip it vertical or horizontal. It streams at 4K, would you believe? Yeah, in clear, or fluent at 896, which is strange resolution. What else we got in there? So display audio, you can check. Has got infrared lights which are on auto. Got the passive infrared motion sensor, which we've got on high sensitive. Might adjust that later. Got detection alarm, so you can create a zone over the area you don't want to receive zones about. So if you're monitoring a larger area, you can draw a line around it. Okay, well, probably won't need to use that. Okay. Detection alarm, camera recording on. Camera recording on. You can schedule. That's interesting, you can schedule alarms. Yeah, time which camera stop recording after the event triggers override recordings, and that's important obviously because otherwise you'll fill up your storage. Overwrite recordings. Push notifications, enabled to receive motion and low battery indications. Okay, so you could turn that on. Let's go, yeah. Detection, okay, different types of detection. Animal disabled, probably don't want it detecting poppy or vehicles for that matter, really only looking at persons. I might adjust that later. I've lost where I am now. Email, push those good email alerts on. FTP, so file transfer protocol, so you can download data from. Okay, so I'm not going to enable FTP, but can download files from it. It's got a siren which will go off if you want it to. Which could be exciting. You can share the camera, so they can use an app as well, so I might share that with Jenny. It's got time lapse, so you can do time lapses. That's quite cute. And advanced, so you can reboot it, change password, device, date and time. Date and time, yeah, that's correct. Synced with the phone. Okay, looks good. Well, you can see the difference between the field of view on both of these. It has the Reolink Go Ultra has a much wider field of view than the Reolink 1 had. I might put it down a little bit, but there we are. It's also noticed it's reversed. It's actually, the screen is actually reversed, so I need to flip it horizontal. Display. Flip horizontal. That's better. Recognise that now. There we are. Right. We'll have a little play with that. Yeah, it's quite a way up, so I mean, obviously you can angle it down and move it around and point it at the things you want it to point at, but you can't move it after you've set it up, and I think that's one of the drawbacks. It hasn't got a pan and tilt function, it's just a fixed camera. It's also got a camouflage jacket, this rubber thing here. Obviously if you're keeping it outside you might want to camouflage it. Probably don't need to camouflage it inside, but yeah, it'll also keep it warm in the winter. Yeah, so we can use these straps now to mount it to a tree or a post. And one thing I have noticed is that this, which I think is like an extension, is meant to be a waterproof housing, is they've actually provided a mini USB socket there, and that takes a USB-C. So I'm not sure how waterproof this lead's going to be, just like that. So I might need to contact Reolink about that. Maybe that's just a drop off. The old camera had a mini USB type connector. A bit difficult to show you on the GoPro, but it's not a USB-C, that connector. Yeah, you could mount it to a tree. I've mounted it very roughly here, but get the idea. Need to use the waterproof connection. This lead's a little bit long, but obviously you could position the solar panel where you need it to be. It'll help you spot any nefarious characters skulking around. Go to there, and you can see the battery's charging now on solar. So it's gone from 72% to 82% in about an hour. That's not bad. So what did I think of this Reolink Go Ultra little camera? First of all, the battery looks like it's going to last forever. I charged it up on the 15th and it was 100% then, and it's gone down to about 70%, and it's about the 20th now, so just running on battery looks like it's going to go on forever. The solar panel actually charges it up really quickly, which I was quite pleased with. Normally, even in a wet windy day like today, normally you sort of struggle with solar, so I think the solar panel looks a good option. So I wonder how long the storage is going to last. Well, each clip is about 1.1 megabit, and just looking at the what I recorded, I had a 32 gigabyte SD card in here, and I'd already recorded 14 months of 1080p footage and the SD footage, the standard definition footage. I've used 0.2 gigabyte of the 1 gigabyte allowance that Reolink give you, and I've got it set on keeping 7 days of footage. So I don't think you're going to run out of space on the card or on the cloud storage, which is good. Most of the footage that you view on this is in either the low definition or the standard definition, but you've got to remember it's storing 4K on the card, so if you want the full quality image, then obviously you get it off the SD card. I was quite pleased with the quality of the 4K footage. The audio seemed to lag a little bit behind the audio. I don't know why that should be. So pros and cons. Well, pro, it's got a camouflage jacket. I mean, how can you not like a camera that's got a camouflage jacket? You could use it as a trail cam. If you've got that battery that lasts so long, then definitely you could use it as a trail cam, and with a bit of camo on it. Yeah, no, that's good. I like the fact that it's storing 4K footage, and that almost has become a standard for me now. I'm recording most things in 4K. Because it's using a mobile signal rather than Wi-Fi to connect, it does mean it's better for those who don't want to leave their Wi-Fi permanently on. Now, I've got Wi-Fi in the motorhome, but I don't like to leave it on when we're actually at home, because it confuses the home Wi-Fi, so I tend to switch it off when we get home. So in that respect, the mobile connection works better for me. The sound on it is actually better than the previous version, than the Go PT. There was quite a bit of buzzing on the sound, and it was almost unusable. As you see from the clip that I recorded at the beginning of this video, you can at least hear what I'm saying, and I hadn't done any processing on the audio there, so it was just a bit lagging behind. So disadvantage of this camera, well, I think the one thing that springs to mind straight away is there's no on-off switch on it. On the previous camera it had a little on-off switch, so you could switch the camera off when we were in the motorhome, because it didn't need a recording. What we have to do here is we have to connect to the camera with the app and switch off the PIR, the passive infrared detection, which is not exactly switching it off, so you're still using battery. I mean, I suppose if you want to switch it off completely, you can unhook it and take the battery out, but yeah, it would be nice to have an on-off switch, but I can understand why they might not do it. If it's mounted on the side of the house, you don't really want people coming along and just switching it off, do you? So yeah, pros and cons there. It's got no pan and tilt, so once you've set it up, you've got it in a fixed position, that's it. The only way obviously is you can adjust it to the position you want, but if you're away from the van, and I don't know, we had Poppy in the crate here and wanted to adjust it, we couldn't do that remotely, so that's a disadvantage from the old pan and tilt camera that we had. So the final thing to mention about this camera is you need to be aware that everything is done via a mobile signal, so obviously you depend on how good your mobile signal is. If it was done via Wi-Fi and you're using a mobile router, the same would apply. So, you know, there's pros and cons of using a mobile signal, but it does mean that you've got to have your phone with you to be able to connect to it, and you're doing that over your data plan, so obviously you need plenty of data. I've got a SIM in there, and I top it up. It's £10 a month for 5 gigabyte, and it seems more than adequate it certainly was for the previous camera, but that was a HD, not UHD definition. So I'll let you know if I start running into problems with data, but I don't think I'm going to. Anyway, I've waffled on far too long now, so if you found this interesting and useful, give us a thumbs up, and you might want to have a look at this video.